All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have all of you right here on this call. And it's my pleasure to tell you that by the time we close, we have an incredible personality, somebody I respect so much, somebody who has been guiding me in several of my activities, whom will be telling us some very important things that can affect our life in this course. So the last time we met, I indicated that there are 4 ways that we can earn. Okay? There are 4 ways of earning. We indicated that you can earn from what you do, from what you know. And we also indicated that you can earn by who you become, by who you become. And then we also indicated that you can also earn by the legacy you leave behind. By the legacy you leave behind. Now, if there is time, what I'll be doing is that I will be talking about this. Okay, if there's time, I'll be talking about this. Okay, I just want to flag that. I'll be talking about the last 2 that we have actually mentioned. But for now, I'm going to go straight to what we said last week and finish the second batch. We indicated that in order to change your personality, in order to change your lifestyle, in order to create generational wealth, you have to be exposed to 6 things and 6 processes in life. I showed you one of the 6 things and the processes. Today, I'm going to reveal the second one and then the third one. The second way by which a person will be able to do well in life and be able to achieve well in life. It affects every aspect of that person's life. The first point we said was self-development, finding out how things work, if you can remember. Finding out how things work. We went through about learning, reading, listening, and observing. We went through all that. Now, the second thing I want to quickly mention is taking action. You see, when you find out how things work, the next thing to do is to take the action about how things work. Go to work. In other words, put together a game plan of everything that you are doing. See, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a game plan, nothing will work. I'll give you an example. You need a game plan in everything in life. In order for a marriage to succeed, you need a game plan. In order for you to succeed in academic work, you need a game plan. You need a game plan. In order to have a great investment in life, you need a game plan. Okay? In order to succeed in a beautiful family, a wonderful family, you need a game plan. To create wealth, you need a game plan. Without a plan, nothing works. Okay? And the temptation usually is that sometimes you want to think onto a paper. So the best way to have a game plan is to write the plan down. Operate from your laptop. Operate from a paper. I usually ask people that are guide, what are you doing in the next 365 days? What are you doing? What are you doing? And when somebody starts to tell me, I say, no. Don't tell me. Show me. Show me. Show me your plan for the next 365 days. Show me your plan for the next 1 month. Show me. Don't tell me. Show me. What is your plan by the end of the year? We are in the last quarter of the year. What is your plan by then? Okay, I plan. Oh, no. Don't tell me. Show me. Show me your plan. Show me your plan for the next 1 year, for the next 3 months. See, then I can look at those things you've written and I can help you. But you've got to operate from a paper or on your tablet. You've got to write it and operate on it. Okay? And when you take action, ladies and gentlemen, the action has to be big. If you are taking an action, you've got to take a massive action. Yeah, I mean, it's good to take a massive action than not take the massive action at all, because you are taking an action anyway. So if you decide that you are going to make some plan, okay, do it big time. If you are going to make contacts of people to be able to contact them, why don't you do 1,000 people then? If you are going to learn, then learn big. If you are going to make some calls and call people on something that you have for the world, why don't you call 1,000 people instead of calling 20 or 100 people? If you want to do it, then do it big. If you're going to do it anyway, then you must as well do it well. You know why? You either drink deep or you taste not the Pyrean spring. You drink deep or you taste not the Pyrean spring. Their shallow draught will intoxicate the brain, and drinking largely will sober you again. So if you are doing anything, do it big time, because that's going to change everything. Now, here is the language of the poor people. This is the language of the poor people. And when I'm talking about poor, I'm not talking about monetary poor. Last time we looked at the different aspects of poor. This is the language of the poor people. I will try it once and twice and see whether it will work. That's the language of the poor mind. Let's see what God can do. But then God has created us in his image, and so God has given us an intellect to be able to use to showcase to him that we are truly created in his image. But the person does not want to do it. He says, let's see what God can do. So he puts everything to God and takes himself out of it. I'll give it 1 month and see whether it will work. No, you either drink deep or you taste not. Remember, for you to succeed in anything, if you decide to take the action, you take a massive action. That's the point I'm discussing. So always go all in before you go all out. You need a game plan. Everybody needs a game plan. Before the end of the year, what are the exact things that you are doing? First week, second week, third week, what is your game plan? Else, by the time you realize 31st night has come, and so many people are doing what? They are not telling the world, okay? They're waiting for the great things to happen again in their life. That is not going to work. So starting tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, check your game plan. If it is not loaded with massive action, change it. And that is a second way of achieving the greatest thing in life. Creating an abundance of happiness and joy in your life. Okay, first, find out how things work. Find out how things work. And second, go to work and take a massive action. Okay, take a massive action. So now let's go to our main story for today. The third one is mentorship. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin about mentorship, I want to tell you a story. Please listen, because this story is quite deep and abstract. You might want to put this down, because I learned this thing from a mentor. A child needs a father. An adolescent needs a friend. An adult needs a mentor. A child needs a father, an adolescent needs a friend, and an adult needs a mentor. Now, let me tell you the story. The word mentor was inspired by the character of someone called Mentor in the Homer's Odyssey. Now, as many of you know about the Iliad and the Odyssey, it was about a writer known as, the author is called Homer. Okay. During the 10-year Trojan War, you might remember the Trojan War. That Trojan War where, you know, one of the tools was a wooden horse. Okay. Because the people of Trojan they had a wooden horse, and then they created a wooden horse and put all their soldiers and then gave it to the Greeks. Gave it to the people, okay, of Paris, and then told them that it is a parcel for them. And then if you have watched the movie, which is known as the Trojan horse movie, you will see some of this. In that movie, there was a man known as Odysseus. He was a king of Ithaca. Now, that man left his wife called Penelope and his son. His son was known as Telemachus. And he left them to lead an army. Now, what he did is that he placed his son, Telemachus, under the care of a guardian known as Mentor. And that mentor, his job was to protect and guide Telemachus. Telemachus was the son of Odysseus and Penelope. Now, in the Odyssey, Homer, the writer, described how Odysseus faced a series of obstacles. So that is why the word Odyssey talks about drudgerous journey, not a person. So it talks about that tough journey that Odysseus went through. Okay. And then because the journey was so tough, okay, his returning home took another 10 years. Now listen, and I want you to please look at the picture here. While this was happening, the young noblemen in Ithaca put pressure on the wife of Odysseus, Penelope, in the hope that she is going to marry one of them, denying Telemachus, the son, his birthright. That is why you see in the picture, they are all offering him some flowers. Okay, they are offering who? Penelope some flowers to marry him. Odysseus put his trust in the wrong man. Telemachus eventually, the son, ended up insecure, indecisive, unconfident, and eventually that boy was going to lose his birthright. Fortunately for Odysseus, the goddess of Athena in particular was following very closely the whole story. So what the goddess did was that the goddess took his own appearance in order to guide Odysseus, and then guide his son, Telemachus. This was a very difficult time. Okay? And if you know about the story very well, Athena, okay, wanted Odysseus back on the throne. And so what he did is that he appeared to that young Telemachus to offer him guidance. But he did it in a very strange way. What he did is that he shape-shifted himself into a wise version, a human being called Mentor. Now, with the guidance of, so what it means is that the word mentor was a human being, but that human being was the goddess, okay, known as what? Athena. Athena converted himself into a human being called Mentor. And eventually, Odysseus finally settled back in Ithaca, where his land was, and they all lived ever after, as the myths and the legend will say. Now, here's the point. Okay? Even if you don't understand the story I just said, here is the point. It is this godly intervention of Athena that ultimately lends to the meaning to our modern word mentor. Okay? It's not the personality of the person. The essence of the story is that a mentor is not just a mentor. Athena, the mentor, was a divine counselor to Odysseus. And so, ladies and gentlemen, a true mentor is always a divine counselor. When a mentor comes into your life, that person is not just a human being, but that person is doing something that is divinely approved. And that is how we have to think of a mentor. Okay? A mentor is somebody who is divinely helping you in the way that you are supposed to move. Every challenge you face in this world has been faced by somebody before. Every life choice has been lived by somebody before. Somebody who is even probably older than you. And so we have to have the choice to accelerate our own life, our own growth by bringing mentors into our life. Mentorship is a divine intervention in mortal form. And the root word or the Greek meaning of mentor is a wise and a trusted counselor or a teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that mentorship is abundant in the scriptures? Please, I want you to open your scripture if you have it, okay? Open to Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 7. I want to build a point, okay? Because I want to build a point on something that is very unique. Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 7, okay? What I know is that sometimes some people might not have it. So I'm going to just use my screen here to show you, okay, so that at least you follow me up with it. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 7. Okay, I have it here, so I'm just clicking on the Google and pick the scripture here. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 7. It talks about Moses. It says, then Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in the presence of all Israel, be strong and courageous, for you must go with his people into the land that the Lord swore to your ancestors to give them. And you must divide it among them as your inheritance. Ladies and gentlemen, see, Moses was a mentor to Joshua. And that is why when Joshua took up the leadership role, he was able to do very well in the activities that he was supposed to do. Joshua had a mentor. Joshua had a very strong mentor. He wasn't the only one. And so when you look at the life of Joshua, he went a very beautiful life because he has already been, later on, God chose Joshua to be the next leader of the Israelites because he had the spirit of Moses and had been mentored for the leadership position that he was having. Joshua was a mentee. Moses was a mentor. Now, in 1 Kings chapter 19 and in 2 Kings chapter 2, okay, Elisha and Elijah, there was a mentorship relationship there. Do you remember? Elisha was prepared for his prophetic ministry through that close relationship he had with Elijah. In 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 17, we see a guidance from Elijah to Elisha. In fact, when Elijah was taken up into heaven, his mantle fell directly on Elisha. And in 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 17, even when Elisha was afraid of the enemy combatant, Elijah prayed that God please open his eyes. And when he opened his eyes, Elisha saw, ouch! He saw the wonders of the creative powers of God because he had a mentor. See, when you have a mentor in life, whatever you do goes well. Now, the book of Ruth, okay, it shows somebody called Naomi. Naomi was a mentor to Ruth. Ruth was a Moabite daughter-in-law, if you can remember. Okay, Ruth had such a strong relationship with Naomi. So much so strong that the lady, Ruth, refused to leave her for any reason at all. Naomi helped Ruth to understand the laws and the customs of Israel. Ruth was the mentee, and Naomi was a mentor. Now let's remember Elizabeth. Do you remember that old woman? Okay, Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. That woman was a mentor to Mary, the mother of Jesus. Okay. When Mary learned that she was about to be the mother of Jesus, it was Elizabeth who mentored who? Mary. And so Mary became a wonderful mother in the process of representing the mother of Jesus. See, if you don't have a mentor in any activity you're going to do, you flop in life. In Acts of the Apostles, chapter 16, in Philippians chapter 2, in 1 and 2 Timothy, you will notice that Apostle Paul was a mentor to Timothy. Apostle Paul was a mentor to Timothy. He described that young man, Timothy, as being like-minded with him. And their relationship was so strong that Paul called it father and son relationship. Do you have a mentor, ladies and gentlemen? You want to pursue an academic life? Do you have a mentor? You want to pursue a business life? Do you have a mentor? You want to be a wonderful something, okay, a lawyer, an engineer, any job. You want to pursue an agenda, business, wealth creation. Do you have somebody who has told a line that you can now follow? When you look at the synoptic gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you will notice that Jesus himself was the biggest mentor to the 12 disciples. He moderated them. He guided them. He served them. He paved the way for them. And today, that group has produced over 2 billion people through mentorship. Now we have over 2 billion people who are now serving because of the mentorship that Jesus put out. Now, I want to tell you something you might probably know. Okay, you all know about Isaac Newton. He said that if I have seen a little further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. You cannot succeed or see a little further unless you are standing on the shoulders of giants. Sometimes you are working, you're doing everything, you are trying everything, it's not going. You start up a business, it's not running. You are trying hard, you're doing this one, you're doing this one, you're trying to put everything together, you're blaming everything on COVID-19. And yet COVID-19, people are still doing so well. It is during the time of COVID-19 that some people's life have improved more than ever before, and you are complaining that things are hard. Things are hard. It's because you are not probably standing on the shoulders of a gigantic person, somebody who had gone through the terrain. Can't you see? The marriage is not working, the business is not working, the academic life is not working. There is because there's a gap. You lack mentorship. You need mentorship. You need somebody whose shoulder you stand up. See, when Isaac Newton, what he implied was that mentors extend one vision. They will extend your vision. They will enable you to attain to the greater height that the individual wants to attain to. And so you need a mentor. I need a mentor. Every one of us needs somebody. See, those of you who like Harry Potter, there was a character in Harry Potter who was called Gandalf. Do you remember Gandalf? Now, please listen. There was a professor in that Harry Potter who was known as Albus Dumbledore. I don't know if you remember him. Albus Dumbledore. And in the Star Wars, one of the Jedi Master was known as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I'm telling you something very profound. That's probably some of us may not have seen. All of these characters portray the fact that there are 3 types of mentors. And please, you want to note them down. The first type of mentors are known as sponsor mentor. The sponsor mentor. The sponsor mentor, what they do is that they put their personal reputation on the line, and they take responsibility for your personal success. As far as they are concerned, if you don't succeed, they have failed. The sponsor mentor. So they will help you, they will guide you, they will show you the direction. And so they call you their prodigies. Okay? Prodigies, which means one who is protected. The prodigy is expected to work hard to make the sponsor look good. And so the mentor becomes a senior and very influential. And the mentor is willing to make that prodigy stand on his shoes. That's the first kind of mentor. The second kind of mentor is called guide mentor. That guide mentor asks you, so what is your next step? What is your next step? Okay, you're done. What is the next step? And what he does is that he helps you, okay, to learn to trust your own decisions. I personally, okay, have learned this from my mentors. And the third one is known as coach mentor. They will put a focus on your performance improvement. Okay, this mentor will help you to set your goals, ask good questions, okay, to widen your perspective, okay. And seniority doesn't matter here. That person can be younger than you, or he can be older than you. You can be a very older person, but you might need that younger coach, mentor to guide you. Ladies and gentlemen, please look at Proverbs chapter 15, verse 22. Okay? I want to bring a home point before I now go to my main thing and invite the special guest. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 22. I just want to pick it up here so that you can all see it, in here. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 22. Okay. So this is what it says, and many of us will probably know about it. It says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Now watch this. Plans, they fail for lack of counsel. So when you have a great plan and you don't seek counsel, you don't seek advisors. Now, the implication of that advisors is mentors, okay? Because a mentor is an advisor or a teacher. If you don't seek an advisor or a mentor, what happens is no matter how great or how wonderful the plan is, it will fail. Because you need a guide. You need someone on whose shoulders you are able to stand in order to weather the storms that will come along in the process. And so that person becomes someone who will be guiding you. A person can be in a business where others are doing well, but that person is not doing well. You're studying in the university, you're struggling, you're doing everything you can, but it's not working. But somebody is doing fine because he's got a mentor. You have friends who are doing well in that same job as an accountant. Some people seem to have a wonderful marriage because the marriage is doing well because they have what? A guide, a counsel, a plan. Behind the scenes, though, there are underlying factors. So ladies and gentlemen, what is mentorship? Mentorship is about learning-based relationship with someone who has to build what you are aspiring to achieve. You see, you are aspiring to achieve something, that person who has the competencies of what you are trying to become. And such a person is willing and ready to share his experience and his guide, okay, through the process of daily learning, and giving you feedback until you get the outcome or the desire that you really want to achieve. That is a mentorship. So mentoring is the legal shortcut to success. That's what my mentor tells me. It's a legal shortcut to success. If you want to succeed, it's a shortcut. There's a shortcut. And that shortcut is mentorship. Because you see, somebody may have struggled for 10 years, and the mentor can help you squeeze all of that 10 years into 1 year. You will get the thing easily within 1 year because of what? Mentorship. That is why sometimes you see some people are very young and they're able to do faster and do well in life than some people who are older because they had mentors. Through mentorship, you can accelerate the successes and minimize the mistakes of the other person. And that is what the mentor will do. The mentor will give you what you don't qualify for, and then will qualify you for those things. It will qualify you so that you can achieve. So sometimes when people say it's hard, it's not easy. No, you are simply untrained in how to do it. You need a mentor. It's not hard because others are doing it or have done it. So if it is hard, it means that you need a guide. And please, I'm not talking about people who are teaching you. So in academic work, a person can be teaching you academic work, but that person is not your mentor. No. That person who is teaching the entire class is not your mentor. Your mentor has a relationship with you, a guidance with the sole aim for you to succeed, okay? To get to that place that you want to get. So we don't have to forsake your dream because you have no competence. What you need is to get a guide, get a mentor. Okay? There's always mentor, okay, who can leverage, you can leverage on and develop the skills that you can have. There's a professor called Professor Connor Neal. Okay, you might Google him. He mentioned Brad Belt. Okay? He said that the number one, okay, thing for anything, the number one way to get anything you want to have is get a mentor. Number two, love your mentor. Number three, embrace your mentor. And number four, stay close to your mentor. So how do mentors work? Ladies and gentlemen, the way mentors work, if you understand it, it will help you to be able to achieve a lot. Okay, and that's what I'm going to show you here on the screen here. First, they are companions. Okay? Mentors support you and care for you, standing side by side with you as a companion. Number two, they plant seed. They prepare you for the future because they know what's going to change. They can see before you can see. What that mentor is is sitting down and can see. If you go to the top, you can't see. So what they do is that they push you to gather the resources for the upcoming situation. And they give you books. My mentor will give me books. He will tell you books for you to read, materials for you to study. That's it, the plan C. Number 3, they are catalysts. Okay, so here the mentor, what he does is that he pushes you. He might ask you for a personal commitment. Okay, so sometimes you may have to make some payment commitment, okay, so that you close the chapter of your life for you. You need it to be able to move on in life. So sometimes they will provoke a different perspective. You know this is a way to go, but the mentor knows, see, there are 4 ways of looking at things. But sometimes what we do is that we look at one way. And when we look at that one way and it doesn't work, then we say that the thing doesn't work. But you see, what a mentor would do is that the mentor has all the 4 ways, the north, south, east, and west ways of looking at the matter. So the mentor will guide you to be able to catch the thing very quickly. But once others have stopped, that mentor will tell you that you can do it and you are able to do it. The next thing is that the mentor acts as a demonstrator. Using their own experiences and examples, they are able to demonstrate to you the skills or the activities that you have to go through. And finally, the mentor acts as a mirror. They provoke reflection. Okay? The mentor will ask you questions. What have you learned? So you tell me, what have you learned? How useful is what you have learned? The mentor provokes in you to see what is inside of you. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you find a mentor? How do you find a mentor? How do you get one? Well, first of all, we all need mentorship, but not everybody qualifies to be your mentor. The kind of dream you have would determine the kind of mentorship that you need. Second of all, when you find a potential mentor, okay, don't ever say, I want you to mentor me. Never say that. When you find a potential mentor, don't say, I want you to mentor me. No, say, what does it take to mentor me? Okay, if there's time, I'll come back to this point. Okay. So first, let's go to how do you find a mentor? 5 ways, okay? And then I will invite our special guest. 5 ways of finding a mentor. Number 1, get yourself ready. You see, you can't find a mentor until you have an explicit vision for what you want to achieve in life. There's a book by Cornelius. Okay? It is entitled, Read How I Set Goals. It's so powerful. Okay? Goals are there to keep you moving, but they are not purposes. So we always have to define goals. We've got to know where we are going first. 6 areas we need to find our goals. Number 1, we need to have our goals in the area of health. Number 2, you need to have goals in the area of peace of mind, relationships, money, contribution to society, okay? And finally, spirituality. Okay? So you need to find goals in these areas. Number 1, health. Number 2, peace of mind. Know your goal you want in each of these. See, if you don't write it down, it's gone. Relationship, that's number 3. Income or money, number 4. Okay, and then contribution to society, and finally spirituality. That have the goals. We have to learn how to properly do any business before you start the business. Before you start any business, you have to learn how to do it. You got to couch the goal. So that's the first point. The first point is that if you want to find a mentor, get ready. Number 2 is learn to ask questions and listen. Last week, we indicated that there's a difference between hearing and listening. We said hearing is physiological, listening is psychological. Listening is deeper. So when you get your mentor, ask questions. There's a difference between opinions and facts. So remember that, okay? And it's not just opinion, we need facts. My mentor will say that what you can define, you can modify, but what you cannot define will overwhelm you. And so remember that knowledge begets knowledge. When you have acquired, you see, if you want somebody to guide you, You come with knowledge because you've learned up to a certain point. So sometimes when a teacher is teaching, says, is there any question? They say no question. No question doesn't mean they understand though, because you have to understand in the first place before you ask what question. So knowledge begets knowledge. You have to have knowledge first, minimal knowledge first. Then you can ask questions based on the knowledge. So you got to be a studious person to be able to get the right mentor. There are two great places to start. And one is the book called Humble Inquiry. Ladies and gentlemen, please go get this book. The Humble Inquiry is by a man known as Edward Shine. Edward Shine. Okay. Edward. Okay. It is E-D-U-A-R-D. Edward. Okay. Humble Inquiry. Get that book. That book will teach you how to really be a questioner. There's a second book that you want to read to be able to be a good self-questioner, and it is called Leadership in Deception. Leadership in Self-Deception. Leadership and Self-Deception. Okay. It is by this institute known as the Arbenga Institute. The Arbenga Institute. Okay. And it will guide you on how to, see, you have to be a teachable person to be a good mentee. The worst you can do, ladies and gentlemen, the worst you can do to yourself is to compete with someone who can help you. That is the worst you can do. Don't ever compete with someone who can help you, because you would have broken your life into pieces. Now, number three. Number three, start with those you already know. So who inspires you? Get to know that person. Make a list of all the people that you have around who inspire you, okay? Who you want to be the best version of, okay? Who has achieved something that you want to achieve in the 6 visionary areas. Write their names down. Okay? Join the leadership organizations, okay, that will focus on training. So the moment you hear that there's a training being organized by this person, by this group, go there. If you're an entrepreneur, join the entrepreneurs organization. There's a website known as the Entrepreneurs Organization. Please join that. If you are a CEO, join this webpage. It's known as Vistage or Vistage. Vistage has 60,000 plus years with 24,000 members. It's there, it's free. Get that. If you're a president, okay, you want to join the Young Presidents Organization, find a local Toastmaster chapter. Okay? See, people don't avail themselves as mentors. People just get up. There's a mentorship session that people are. Find them in the local area where you are, okay? And be around those who are changing the world. Start with those you already know. That's number 3. Number 4, build relationships. When you have a mentor, build a relationship. You see, are you somebody you yourself would like to be a mentor? Are you open? Are you flexible? Are you resilient? Are you respectful? Are you eager to learn? Are you committed to modifying how you are interacting in the world? Don't immediately ask for mentorship. Observe. Observe how they think. Observe their disposition. Observe their behavior in different situations. Follow the work that they are doing. Ask for support. Ask for help. And when you find somebody you want him to mentor you, tweet out their post. If you are doing tweeting, comment in a positive way on their blogs. Go to their social media, go to their Facebook, go to their Instagram, and make comments there and begin. Let the person know that you like what he is doing, what she is doing. Bring them something, a project that will make them look good. Show that you are ready to serve them. Okay? And then that person will go all out to empty his life. And finally, if I invite the mentor here, pay it back. Pay it back. There's a man called Jim Collins, and Jim Collins says that the best way to pay back our mentors is to become our mentors ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 2 questions for you. What positive thing have you said about someone to their face today? What positive thing have you said to someone to their face today? What positive thing have you said about someone who is not here? If I were your mentor, I would ask you some 5 questions. one of the 5 questions I would have asked you is, what is it that you really want to be and you really want to do? What is it that you really want to be and you really want to do? That is one out of the 5 questions. At this stage, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite someone who has been my mentor, one of my mentors in the past recent times. Okay? I want to be sure that he's on the line first, and if he's there, oh, fantastic. Okay? So I'll make him a co-host. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this man is somebody I respect so much in life. I respect him because I'm a doctor. I have multiple masters and PhD, but when I met this man, I realized that I needed a lot to learn. And I decided to soak myself to learn as much as I can. And just by meeting this man in the past few months, I have seen dramatic changes in my life. He is someone I have seen. I think he's a living legend already. He's a business mentor. He's a life coach. He has been to several places. He's been to the United States. He's worked with JP Morgan for years. He has advised organizations across the world. He is well known. And I happen to be pushing myself to find a space in his corner. And he has been one of my great mentors for now. And today, I would love him to come here because he has some incredible things to share with the world, especially to share with people in Ghana because of some things he's doing, and to share with people all over the world because of some things he's bringing around. Okay. Please, I need you. His name is Mr. Ugochukwu Omiego. And I just need you to just type the word "you" in the chat room there. Please just type the word "you," capital U. Okay, as a way to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Ugochukwu Omiego into our midst to share some of his fantastic lessons with us. Please type the word "you" there, okay, for his great welcome. Let me see if he's around, and then he can actually. Mr. Ugo, please, are you around with us?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you. How are you doing, everybody? You're doing okay?
Yes, I can see you as well.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, 102 people. This is incredible. Doc, I'm excited for all of you, for what you're doing to the world and sharing knowledge on how we can improve our existence here on earth. I am super excited. Listen, gentlemen, it's a privilege to be part of this program. Dr. KOA is a tremendous person. He's teachable. He's amazing. He's very disciplined. And I am truly privileged to be part of his life. In fact, I am considered, it's a very humbling experience to be called a mentor by him. Doc, you've done well for yourself. Thank you for the privilege to be part of your life. And tonight, I just want to share a little bit of what's happened, what the human person can become, and how you can improve the quality of your life and the quality of the people around you. But that can only happen when you have certified knowledge. You want to write it down. Certified knowledge. Not all knowledge is certified. Certified means that it has been proven to produce what it promises. There are a lot of knowledgeable people who are not successful. There are a lot of people who, doctors, lawyers, engineers, pilots, who have knowledge by every means. But these people, some of them, if you look at them, you will not see an evidence, a true evidence of knowledge. Because well, creation, which is a fundamental right of every human being, is your ability to convert your virtues into values for mankind. Well, creation is your ability to convert your virtues, your innate qualities, all the beautiful things God loaded you with when you were born. Your ability to convert those virtues from their raw state to a value point, okay? And the question is, what is the difference between virtue and value? Virtue are the natural endowment that God has given to you. Your ability to be compassionate, your ability to be kind, faithful, generous, integrity. Those are virtues. But those things by themselves may not give you the best returns if you use it in your raw state. If you go about being kind to people, everyone is you on the road. But your kindness will be more powerful when you become a doctor, which means if you take the virtue of people, of seeing people be healthy, and you take that virtue and go through a medical school, that virtue leaves its raw state and become a competence of facilitating medicine, where you can treat people, where you can heal people, where you can give them professional advice on what they can do to live healthy. You have turned your virtue into your medical services. And until your virtue becomes valuable to people, it will not be useful to them. There are a lot of people who are virtuous, but they're broke, they're poor. Some of the people you see in the street who are poor people, you are not more virtuous than them, because they come from the same source of life, from God. How come some people, we all come from the same source of God? We're born as human beings. Then some people seem to be more valuable than the others. It's because the level of training and exposure that your virtues, your ability to love, your ability to be kind, your ability to be compassionate, your ability to have faith, those virtues in their raw state has gone through a disciplinary process, that the virtues are no longer called virtues, they're not called values. And these values now are translated into two dimensions. They are now becoming products people can buy or services people can subscribe to. So what really, really impacts people is not your virtue. What impacts people is the services that came out of your virtue. Okay. If you are hearing me, I want you to type that you're hearing me, and I want you to talk to me and tell me what you've learned so far. Just break the ice. Okay. Just break the ice. Just talk to me. Type on this chat what you're learning. If I'm making sense to you, I want you to talk to me. I like the emojis, but I like your brain to talk to me. Yeah, all the fire, and I like it, but I'd rather you speak to me intelligibly. So type on the chat what you're learning so far, if I'm making sense. I'd like you to participate. I want you to talk to me. Okay. What beautiful. Okay, I'm not seeing what you're typing. Okay, great, valuable. No, don't say that. I want you to type what you've got so far. Your value from virtue is what is required. Okay. I want you to talk to me. Okay. Beautiful, Haruna. I love it. Beautiful. Is that all the people can type? Virtue should be converted to values. Okay. I love it. George, it's nice. Beautiful. Not all knowledge is certified. By virtue have to be translated into values to be really impactful. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. This is nice. Please forgive me at my having cold. So the primary asset that helps anybody to become useful is knowledge. Knowledge is the primary precursor to a valuable life. But people have knowledge, but they're still broke, they're still poor, because the knowledge they have is not specific to a particular outcome. And the reason is because people tend to want to be successful without going through the discipline of learning. People tend to want to make it in life without going through this discipline of the process of learning. And I've seen people waste valuable time in trying to pursue outcomes without putting themselves in alignment of a process of learning. Because the only way you can control your outcome is you can control the process that leads to the outcome. Okay. Now, I traveled to Israel in 2018. I wanted to go and take some courses on creative entrepreneurship, the value of entrepreneurship. I wanted to learn more how Israel is able, in a small country of 9 million people,
They are one of the biggest economies in the world, and one of the youngest countries in the world is Israel. My professor told me that Israel exports knowledge. I'm like, really? I said, how do you mean? He said, that's what they export. They have no natural resources. So they go into researches, they do a lot of experiments, and then they find out what works. And then they export the product that came out of their knowledge. Okay. Now, the knowledge through which a product is created is more powerful than the product itself. In other words, what they do in Israel is if they produce food, okay, they sell the food, maybe $1,000. They sell like 500,000, 1 million pieces or 1 pieces. If ask them how they produce food, this is what they do. They charge like $1,000 on how. But they rather you come and get the what, the final product, because if this gets into it gets obsolete, you have to come back to get the new version. Now, anytime you have people, okay, what you know, the value of the human person is not the DNA. The value of the human person is in the quality of knowledge he has. I've seen a lot of great, passionate people who go out every day to go to work, professors, doctors, lawyers, and these people still struggle to make ends meet because they don't have a distinction between career success and financial success. You see, your ability to understand the economies of wealth, to understand that wealth creation is a fundamental right of every human being to be able to generate resources based on his capacity to think, to bring out ideas, and to convert those ideas into valuable products and services for mankind. It's difficult for you to live in abundance. But whatever you require to create this kind of beautiful life, you already have. So I'm going to explain to you part of by running a master class on the process on how to create wealth. And who can be there? Anybody that has a brain, any human being that has a brain that is willing to learn. That where you are right now, you're an engineer, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you go to do 9 to 5, but it seems like the harder you work, you don't get the equivalent in outcome. There's nothing wrong with going. Everything is wrong if you don't develop your mind in a way that can flip resources around or and economic machine that generates more income, and then learn the process of building a system that can allow you to leverage on all the people's competences in your own system to create more and give you more time to do the most important thing in life, which is thinking. Okay, so I'm going to be in Ghana on the 30th. I'm going to be in Ghana on the 31st of October in Ghana. Everyone that is here, please, it's going to be the best day of your life, your entire life. I'm going to show you possibility, the chances of you ever becoming very successful in your craft. I will look at the odds that is stacked against you. Extra advantages to counter those odds, because not all possibility will become probable in your life. There's a lot of possibilities in Africa, but how many people are turning those possibilities into probable outcome in their life? It's kind of difficult. So let's write this down. The 3 values of knowledge. Write this down. The value of knowledge. The 3 values of knowledge. Three values of knowledge. But first of all, how many people here on the 31st in Ghana. It's going to be on a Sunday. How many of you would like to come? Let's see your hand. It's going to be absolutely free. The program is going to be absolutely free. It's going to be free of cost to you, but the cost I'm going to bear. I'm going to bear the cost. You want to write this down? Write this down. It's free. There's always a cost-benefit analysis. There's always opportunity cost. So you're coming because I'm going to be at the cost, but I want you to come and see the possibility of transforming not just your life, to understand the creative process of how you can take what the internal energy, the capacity of your brain, and then create ideas and take what you're doing right now and then turn it into a bond of economic advantage. I want to see how it would be there. Okay, the 3 people, are we serious? How would you like to be in the program? Say, I will be there. I will be there. I like the hands, but I like to write something down. I like people to really talk to me. Okay, great. So 3 values of knowledge. Okay, the first value of knowledge is called the intrinsic value. Okay, the second one is the extrinsic value. Okay, somebody said I would do anything. Are you seriously? I love this audience. Everybody is so smart. Look at how you just did what I asked you to do, right? Okay. The second value of knowledge is the extrinsic value. Extrinsic value. The third level is instrumental value. Instrumental value. Every single person here, every single person on this call right now have the capacity to be a successful billionaire in the world. Every single person here, right? Write this down. Effort is the common denominator in life. Effort is the common denominator. Knowledge is a differentiator. The difference in outcome is not in efforts. The difference in outcome is the quality of knowledge that drives effort. Listen, gentlemen, I have been on the physical, I have a physical challenge. I was born with polio 1 year, 6 months after I was born. I've been on crutches for over 30-something years right now. Okay. If wealth is created based on physical health, physical ability, so I try to share with as many people as possible before I start. The each individual on this planet carries. Write this down. Until something of value is imputed in them. Human beings are worth nothing until something of value is imputed in them or placed on them. Other than that, we are just like any other animal on earth, like dogs, lions, cats. The difference between how valuable we are is the quality of value we can provide. And the value cannot come until knowledge comes. I see people live in a terrible situation, very poor. In the same community, some people are living large. People on the street, people get beheaded. I see people do despicable things like other animals kill each other. But I see people who also live in a certain level of life and they live as though they are gods. The difference between these 2 categories is based on the quality of value that has been imputed in people. So there's an economic evaluation of human life. It's not to say that's a price of human. It is to say that human beings tend to grow in value when they begin to create value for other human beings. And the ability to do that is based on knowledge. So that being said, there's value of knowledge. The first one is intrinsic. What is intrinsic knowledge? Intrinsic knowledge, the knowledge that builds your character, that knowledge that gives you clarity, that knowledge that gives you the ability to articulate your thoughts. The more you get kind of knowledge, the more your confidence level grows, the more the appreciation of who you believe you are grows. That's the knowledge this type of knowledge is the type of knowledge, for a purpose of example, you pay when you go to university, you sign up to be a medical doctor, you sign up for surgery and medicine, and you take your entrance exam to the university, and you start your medical school. You pay every semester for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6 years. You pay this money, you're not receiving money back, because what you're receiving is that your character is being built and shaped as a doctor. What you're receiving is knowledge that gives you clarity about the knowledge is into what you make you become. So after 6 years, you are now called Dr. James, Dr. K.A., Dr. Kofi. You see, but you have not earned money, but the quality of that knowledge has raised your capacity to earn money. Because at the time you get that knowledge, you already know that it's not for you to make money, it's for you to improve the quality of your person, to improve your character, to shape the particular competence. That is called intrinsic knowledge. When I charge fees for my clients in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and wow, how'd you do that? I said, listen, if a somebody has gone to medical school, comes out and wants to practice medicine, and someone who has gone to an auxiliary school for 2 years to go on medicine, you come into them the same thing, because not the competence is the same, but the quality of the person doing that particular task is not the same. So intrinsic knowledge improves the quality of your brain, improves the quality of your character. It gives you capacity to have clarity about what your life is about. But the second one is extrinsic knowledge. Extrinsic knowledge is where you need to practice as a result of the intrinsic knowledge. So as a medical student, you've graduated from medical school, you go and do your internship with a doctor in a hospital. The time you do your internship, you are now putting into practice all of those theories that you've received, the principles you've received, the discipline you've received in medical school. Your next level is to practice those things to develop competence from extrinsic knowledge. At the level of or intern where you're practicing without the 6 years, even though you might have some level of skill set, the way the world will work, what the person that's gone to 3-6 years of medical school will not be the same way. So there's so many people who have competence in these areas, but the quality of their being is not up to the level that can command the same level of returns. Okay. So if you're getting something for what I'm saying, I want you to speak to me right now. I want you to talk to me. Let me know what you've gotten so far. Please be a little more specific. And when I get your responses, it will charge and determine what I'm going to say next. Take a look. If you can still hear me, I want you to talk to me. What you Okay. I'm watching. I'm listening. I'm watching. I'm starting to get your answers. Terry?
Hello, Mr. Hugo. Hello. All right, so I think we've slightly lost him. I know he's going to come back. And personally, when I think these connections have begun recently.
Called for you to earn economic value based on competencies alone. There's a level you get, you don't earn by competence, you earn by identity. For example, right now, people don't pay me money because of just teaching them. There is a perceived value based on the result I have gotten over and over. I've built multiple companies. I've generated millions of dollars in revenues in different companies. I have, restructured companies. I have taken people from zero balance in your life, and they have structures and systems now. All of those things have added to who I am. So if someone comes and takes my book and begins to teach from my book, or comes to my class and begins to teach my class, he cannot command the same level of substance in terms of returns until the person improves the quality of the inner person. And that quality can only be visible in your competence if you continue to have result and result. You have built a business, you have succeeded in the business it multiple times over. When businesses go down, you build again. And that quality from the intrinsic knowledge gives value to the extrinsic knowledge. So intrinsic knowledge is competence. It is your ability to use and develop skills to solve your problem. Write this down. Extrinsic knowledge is defined as competence or skill set that is deployed to solve your problem. You see, people try to solve other people's problem without solving their own problem. See, extrinsic knowledge is about you solving your problem good enough, fantastic enough, excellent enough for people to say, you know what, I see what you do, I see the company you build, I've seen the life you're living, can you transfer, can you help me? So extrinsic knowledge is not about going to solve people's problem. It's about using the intrinsic knowledge to solve your own problem so good enough that the excellency of and the expression of your life in terms of the things you're doing, the company you're building, whatever the project you're handling is so good that people will on their own willingly say, I just love what you do. I love how you're able to create 1, 2, 3, 4. Over the years, you've sustained your outcome, you've built multiple things, and I'm willing to pay you to show me how to build. In other words, the older you get, the richer you're supposed to be. Because over time, if you're learning and improving, you're now earned by wisdom, not by competence. That's intrinsic knowledge, extrinsic knowledge, which is knowledge that is expressed to develop competence to solve your problem. I want you to write this down. Extrinsic knowledge is about developing expertise to solve your own life problem. So good that the third level is instrumental. Knowledge as an instrument. Instrumental knowledge is when people come to you right now and say, sir, ma'am, I'm trying to build a business. And I see that you built the business so good and you build it so well. Please, can you show me or teach me or coach me? That knowledge is become an instrument of engagement. It's become a commodity. It's become service. So people can now pay for your time. Now listen to this. When I put a fee on my program, I don't put a fee based on the content because the content will change your life. You can't put the price on it. But what you can put the price is what is scarce, time. You don't have all the time in the world. So it is the time limit that you put the price in terms of, well, 1 hour of my time is $1 million, $2 million. But if you don't understand these three valuations, it's impossible for you to truly earn the amount of wealth that you're deserving. So I hope someone is learning something. If you're learning something, I want you to type Type to me. Type to me. I'm about to share something quickly. Then I'll let you guys go and rest. If you're learning something right now, please, I want you to type it on the screen what you're learning. Can someone type? Okay. Beautiful. If you're learning something already, just for me to know where your mind is, because it's not really about me talking. Okay. Anybody typing? Duck. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Benjamin, thank you. I appreciate you. Beautiful. So that's the three bodies of knowledge: extrinsic, intrinsic, and instrumental. And finally, so before I finish, on the 31st of October, I'm going to fly into Ghana. If you are listening right now and you want to learn how to take your company and restructure it and build it properly, you need to be in that program on the 31st, okay? If you're looking forward to starting all over again, you have some money and you don't know what to do with the money. You want to start to learn how investment works, okay? How do I take my money that I already made? How do I leverage different type of investment platforms? I will teach you about how investment works. Some people ask me, go, how is it that you have so much, your money multiplies? And ask me, what should I invest in? That's the wrong question. You should ask me to teach you how investment works. Because there's so many platforms in the world you can leverage on anywhere in the world, okay? If you're listening right now and you say, go, I am trying to find a way to have ideas that I have, but I don't know how to take those ideas and turn them into a valuable product or valuable services. You need to be in that event on the 31st. Afterwards, there's going to be a masterclass on the 4th, or the 5th, and the 6th in Ghana. You're going to have a personal time. We're going to go back into the canvas of the model of business process. How do I develop my mind? What are the processes I need to take to create the type of outcome that I want, okay? And why is that? Life rewards you in 4 stages. 4 stages, write it down. Life rewards you in 4 stages. The first one, life rewards you based on what you can do. Life rewards you based on what you can do. That's competence. That's what you can do. You're a doctor, you have to go to court. You're a doctor, you have to go to hospital. You're a lawyer, you have to go to court. You're an engineer, you have to be in the field. Based on those competencies, life pays you a dividend. So you go out there, you trade, you teach people, they pay you as a lecturer. You go out there, you defend and counsel people, they pay you as a lawyer. You go out there, you diagnose people, listen to their sicknesses, they pay you as a doctor. But that's the least of what you're supposed to do. Then when you begin to understand the processes that led you to the competence, and you begin to document these processes and then harness the wisdom from the processes, why you are still doing it. For example, when I was building my business, I was documenting everything. I knew there's a second level of payment in life. That second level is life pays you based on what you know. Life pays you based on what you know. So you can earn money from what you do. You can earn money from what you know. So you're building your business, you're building your career, you're going to work, you're earning money from those things you go and do every day. But what if you're codifying? What if you're documenting? What if you're taking time to know what is working, why you're still active in business? Because there's a time you're going to get to. You will have this physical body energy to be doing the same thing you're doing. Does it mean you should earn less? No. That's even when you're supposed to earn more. And that's the reason why even medical doctors, the physicians, the practitioners earn lesser than medical consultants. The higher you go in knowledge, the higher level of learning you have, okay? The third level, life pays you. Life pays you from what you become. From what you become. Listen, gentlemen, you get to the point in your life, your name becomes an asset. Like I have been sitting in different boards of Individual board of directors of so many companies. Just my name being in the board, I get director's fee. I don't have to say anything. I have letters. Ugo wanted to be our board member, and this is the allocation of money because the profile of our company rises because your name is one of our directors. So as you begin to do better in your life, as you begin to become better at what you do, and you're documenting and observing what you do, at some point, what you know and what you do form what you become. The identity that is ascribed to you as a person can become an asset, even it can live for your children. Okay. And then there's so many things I'm going to teach you. Okay. So I want you to try to be there on the 31st of October. If you are saying, you know what, I'm doing well, and you want to do a lot better, you need to be there on the 31st. And after the 31st, we're going to talk about the masterclass for the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, the odds is against you, against all of us in Africa, but you can bring the odds with knowledge, certified knowledge. I hope tonight was great for you. I hope that you received some level of insight in what I shared, but trust me, that 31st will be the best day you've ever lived on planet Earth. I promise you. Okay, so come with your family, come with your partners, come with your colleagues in your office, come with anybody you really care about, come with your wife or your children. I'm sure the Labadi Beach Hotel, I don't know how many rooms we have, or how many are the capacity of the hotel, maybe 200, maybe 400, and because of COVID. So you want to go ahead now and clear the date, the entire week, because I am sure that when it comes on the 31st, you're going to receive so much knowledge that your life will turn around, and then you want to know, how do I break those things into details or what's going to happen the rest of my life, right? So if you're going to be there, sir, all of you, I want you to write again, hey, Ugo, thank you for today. I am definitely going to be there for the 31st at Labadi Beach. I want you to type it in right now. If you receive value today and you want to receive more value on the 31st, I want you to type it on the screen, on the chat box, that, hey, Ugo, I'm going to be at Labadi Beach with you on the 31st of October with my partner, with my wife, with my colleagues, with my friends who are in business. I want you to type it in. The 4th and the 5th and the 6th is the match masterclass. Right, thank you, Haruna Mohammed. I appreciate you. Kofi Michael, thank you. Daniel Ajo, I love you. Yeah. Better. Okay. Oh my God, oh my goodness, I love you guys. I am so thrilled. I am so happy. Now, I want you tonight, when you go home tonight, I want you to kiss your family, kiss your wife, kiss your husband, take your children, raise them up, and let them know that daddy or mommy is about to design a new blueprint for the rest of your life. I guarantee you, you would never again be the same person. What you're going to receive on the 31st will change the course of your life. Take my word for it. Take my word for it. It would never be like anything you've ever heard. Come and find it yourself. On the 31st, make sure to be there. Okay? Okay. You can follow me on Instagram right now at Ugochukwu Obelgo. Follow me on Instagram and on fans of Ugochukwu on Facebook. Go there right now, click on it, and you have a lot of information that I have there that are going to help you. But clear your date on the 31st. Trust me, no words on earth can describe the level of experience you're going to go through your mind and your heart. Okay? I love you. Dr. KOA, an incredible leader. I have an absolute respect for you. I will do whatever it takes in my power to support you and your dreams and anybody that's going to be there on the 31st. Thank you. I look forward to see you guys on the 31st. Have a great night. I hope I made some impact in your life today. Bye-bye. May God bless you.
So much, Ugo, we really appreciate it. Even though there were challenges, I mean, I could still see over 100 people still on the call, and that is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, what an honor to have. If you guys listen to me when I speak to you on this platform, you are just having a tip of the iceberg, listening to the man who is making me what I am becoming. And I can tell you that this man can do a lot of things. The words that come out of his mouth are words that can change every dime that a person has. I am a learner. I don't use my pedigree as an excuse to say that I know already. And even though I keep learning, getting more degrees, the more I sit under the feet of this knowledgeable man, the more I realize that there's a lot to learn. In fact, knowledge requires that the more you learn, the more you realize there's a lot to learn. It should humble you for knowing more. So next week, we will be meeting. You get the flyer, you get a post. We'll be meeting and discuss the next level of knowledge, wealth, and wisdom. Okay, and let's prepare ourselves. I'll be talking a lot about the Day 31st program at the Labadi Beach Hotel. It's going to happen on a Sunday from 2 p.m. You get a lot of information on this. Just put that day down as yours. And then that week, that Sunday, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, put that week there because you're going to get a lot of information that is going to build your life. Thank you all very much indeed for your time. It's been a pleasure having you. And always remember, drink deep or taste not the Pyrenean spring. Okay. I'll see you again next week where we meet and look at the various aspects. Remember, I've indicated some of the wonderful things that we have lined up ahead of us that are coming. You will get the notification on your website, on your social media. So please note that. Tonight, please look at the lives and the lives of your parents. Just like I said again, whether they are alive or they are not alive, look at the life of your parents and ask yourself, do I want better? Do I want better than my parents? And if the answer is yes, I will see you next week. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening and bye-bye. Thank you all.